What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of In This Very Ring. We are brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Our doc, make him yours, Dr. Paul Vidal. Check him out on the web at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. You can find him at Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton, New Jersey. We are also brought to you by your leaders in deck restoration and gutter guard cleaning, Ambuck Services. You can find them on the web at ambuckservices.com as well. Guys, it's another episode of In This Very Ring. I am the one, the only, I am Ritz. And to this way, we'll get that eventually. That way.
Wait, goddammit, I did it
You suck. So, over here is the Josh Matthews to my Jeremy Borash. He is.
Oh dear God! Oh.
He is the Byron Saxton to my Corey Graves.
I'll take that over Josh Matthews any day of the week.
He is Tom Phillips to my Mauro Ranallo. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Butters. Butters, how you doing, bud?
Tired, but I'm good. Wired.
Amen to that. So our topic of conversation, it's brought to you by QB54, the best tailgating game out there. Matt Riddle moving to Smackdown is a good thing. Guys, if you missed it, Friday night in the most bullshit, lackluster, half-assed kind of way, Kurt Angle, Olympic gold medalist, WWE Hall of Famer, TNA Hall of Famer, introduced Matt Riddle to SmackDown with a video package and a voiceover. I'll repeat that. Kurt Angle introduced Matt Riddle with a video package and a voiceover. So, we know that the King of Bros is coming to the main roster. Butters, let's talk about it. Tell me, what do you think? Matt Riddle coming to SmackDown, good or bad?
It's good. It's good for SmackDown, bad for Raw. I mean, yet again, they're putting all the good, they always put all the good talent on, SmackDown, but in the end, they want their flagship show to be number one, so why aren't you going to put, a guy who's so over onto Raw? But then again, I get why. You can't put him on Raw when you have Brock Lesnar.
Well, you don't have Brock Lesnar on Raw right now. Brock's not coming back for a while. I think the move is smart. I think if Riddle was to get called up, you take him to SmackDown. But you don't do it right now. You got James Wilder chiming in. Riddle is good. Send him to AEW. LOL. No. Ted FX saying, bro. I wonder how many of those we're going to get tonight. The Godfather, Thomas Arnone, chiming in from the sunny state of Florida. Let's talk about it. Tommy. Tell me what you think. Is it good for Matt Riddle to move now to SmackDown, yes or no? Ralph Delavecchio, co-host of The Fix. It's still real to me, damn it. That's the extent of Ralph's wrestling knowledge. Thank you. 10FX, Drew Gulak is back. Yes, Drew Gulak did sign with the WWE. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. So, Matt Riddle coming to SmackDown. I think it's a good thing right now. I think,
really is.
Yeah, and look at the talent roster that you've got. You've got Bray, you've got Braun, you've got...
The talent roster's small right now, with some of them staying home, like Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns. You kind of need a little bit, somebody else, a couple of new people, just to kind of give it a fresh look, a fresh vibe, kind of just up the roster a little bit, give us something new, because we're seeing the same things week in, week out. I mean, right now we got the IC title tournament. We got AJ Styles moved over to SmackDown. But with Matt Riddle, we've got, we're about to have some really great matches on SmackDown, just like we had in NXT. I just hope they let him just run with what he's got instead of just, just kind of like, here's the main roster. You saw it. Now you just push it aside.
Right. We've got some guy that Tom carries every Sunday and Wednesday chiming in saying, "What's up, my guys? I agree to the poll. Get some bro action." Thanks, random stranger who has to have Tom carry him every single week.
Damn.
That was for his comment earlier.
Yep.
But no, when you have AJ Styles, who's now moved over to SmackDown, it's AJ Daniel Bryan in that IC tournament finals. That's huge, number one. But taking someone like Matt Riddle over there, whoever comes out of that, you could, one, have him instantly feud with Matt Riddle.
Yep.
Right? You've also got Sheamus. You've got Jeff Hardy with whatever the hell they're doing over there with them. Cesaro's over there. Nakamura's over there. There's a lot of...
Corbin.
Huh?
I said, unfortunately, your favorite wrestler in King Corbin.
But you know what? A Corbin Riddle match would kind of be entertaining.
I think there's a lot of people on SmackDown that I would, prefer to see Riddle face than Raw.
Absolutely.
Right? SmackDown's got the better roster for Riddle to, like you said, the winner of the IC title match. I mean, a match with Bryan knocked the roof off. Styles, it knocked the arena down. I mean...
Right, and especially when you look at, what Matt Riddle's done in NXT. And that does bring a question, though. Look at what he's done in NXT. He was a tag team champion. I don't ever think he held the North American title.
No, I think the only title he's held was the tag title.
Right. And I wonder, does the fact that Pete Dunne can't get over to the States, does that change Matt Riddle's timeline? Would he still be a tag team champion with Pete Dunne right now? And would he still be on NXT?
I almost have to think that with Matt, I think the storyline with Thatcher, something tells me the storyline with Thatcher was supposed to be the storyline with Pete Dunne.
That is a good possibility. That is a very good possibility.
With Pete Dunne not being able to come over, he can't defend those tag titles. They can't lose them, and then each other get pissed off at each other. And Matt Riddle, they do the blow-off match as they called it. I don't know why you're going to call it a fucking blow-off match. Whatever. But, you had the big match inside that, Lion's Den cage. And
Which looked pretty cool. I got to go back and finish it, but it looked pretty cool.
It was great. It was amazing. And, it was a lot bigger of a cage than the original Lion's Den. I'll give them that much.
Well, if you go back to our interview with Ken Shamrock from a few weeks ago over on Lazy Booking, which you can find in the archives here at a2dradio.com, A2D Radio on Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Speaker, anywhere you find your podcast. We're there. Yeah. It was from a few weeks ago. Ken Shamrock actually talks about the Lion's Den match and kind of how it came to be and what the design was based around for that. So yeah, it looked like a cage match combined with the Lion's Den, like a regular steel cage match with a walkway up top. Could that have been the thing with Pete Dunne? I don't know. I don't know if that was
wrong. Don't get me wrong. Thatcher made it. It still made for a good match with Thatcher. But like I said, I kind of have to believe in the long run, had everything gone normal, no COVID, no none of this, had the storylines progressed with Pete Dunne, I feel like that was a position for Pete, and they had to kind of throw somebody in there to kind of help take that title off to progress him to SmackDown.
So, do I think that Pete Dunne and Riddle would have ended up splitting up into a feud? Yes. Do I think that culminates into a random cage match with Kurt Angle randomly being your referee? No. I think that was something different.
As I say, I think the cage match is more because, of Riddle's background in MMA.
Right.
I mean, I don't think Thatcher has a background in any kind of thing like that, does he?
I'm not 100% sure. I would definitely have to go look that up and see. I don't know, but as you're figuring that part out, because I know that's what you're doing right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That is,
No, but I wonder, does that create a longer run though for Riddle and Dunne? And one has to say yes, it does. because they were over like Rover. Going into NXT Takeover In Your House would have been huge for them. Have that
Oh,
happen there, not at a random NXT.
so from what I'm seeing, no, he doesn't have any kind of MMA background or nothing. It's just straight up pro wrestling all around.
Okay. But again, he's not a guy you really want to screw with
Oh,
either.
hell no, hell no. I
No,
wouldn't
absolutely
judge
not.
you.
No, not at all. But no, I think it's smart to bring Riddle over right now. You've got a lot of potential with certain guys that are out there, with AJ Styles, with Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura, Baron Corbin, Braun Strowman, even, right?
Yep.
A lot. You can do a lot with Matt over on SmackDown than you can over on Raw. Even though he's got people on Raw like Aleister Black, Ricochet, Andrade. A lot of his NXT brethren are over there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it'll be very, very interesting to see. Um, let's talk about this week in wrestling. We haven't really done that in a while. We got our handy dandy iPad here. Let's start. Actually, we don't always do AEW,
No.
right? But Double or Nothing was this past Sunday.
Correct.
Well, this past Saturday. That's why we had no show. So I want to touch a little bit on that show, right? Because it's their second Double or Nothing ever. It had the Stadium Series. It had the finals for the TNT Championship Tournament. Iron Mike Tyson showed up. So you can
And showed us, showing up at the pay per view, showing up at AEW, proving to us that yet again, even in another promotion, Mike Tyson can't rip off a fucking t-shirt.
not even that, right? Like we're not even at that point where it's like he can't rip off a t-shirt, which by the way, that's a problem. Either that t-shirt's made of like steel or you're just weak, bro. But like you are whoever wrote this story out, you're not in the shot at all.
Damn it. There we go.
Much better. Much better. Um Jake Friel chiming in, host of the weekly roundup, saying, "What's up, boys? Jake, what's going on, my brother? How are you?" But no, I mean, Iron Mike Tyson, whoever wrote this storyline with him and Jericho, where we're revolving it around Jericho getting sucker punched 10 years ago in a WWE ring. Hold on, I don't think the people in the back heard it yet. In a WWE ring, okay, we're going to take that storyline and we're going to translate that into what we're going to do with Jericho right now. Jericho, arguably one of the hottest names ever in the sport of professional wrestling.
Big time.
Arguably the hottest name right now in professional wrestling. Even though he is not Le Champion, they referred to him as Le Champion the other night too. Did anybody else catch that? Yeah, I think it was Shivani called him Le Champion. He doesn't have the belt, and then they do Tyson does the pull off and fails at that. Then he like puffs out his chest and throws up his biceps. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you look like you're having a spaz moment. And
Don't
then
they always look like they have spaz moments?
also, and then they do the Tyson and Austin shove.
Woo.
But and then you go to a brawl, and it's the worst brawl I've ever seen. I love brawls. Ask anybody. I absolutely love like a show going off the air. Like, do you remember the old Survivor series, like the go home shows right before Survivor series or the Royal Rumble? And it's just an absolute brawl. Like,
You had them hands down, knockdown, drag out, melee brawls every single time. You don't really see that much anymore.
Yes, Greg. JR is still botching calls over there.
Even though you clearly said Tony Schiavone, but
No, but no. First off, it's Tony Schiavone. Okay. Second of all, he still is botching calls. That's a fair question.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay, that's a fair question by Greg. What does that say? Does that say Cali, Texas? 512 says, remember when Rey Mysterio killed Hijo del Perro? We're not going to talk about that. He didn't kill him per se. Like, it was an accident that happened.
Oh,
So,
that one.
Yeah, that one. But where was I? Oh, Mike Tyson. Yeah. Then you do the typical Tyson and Austin shove, and they have the worst brawl pull apart ever. One guy keeps getting in Jericho's face, and Jericho keeps pushing him back. Like, what are you doing? Like, people didn't understand their roles in this. We understood this was a cluster. Once we got Tyson out of the ring and Cody got involved, and the people that Cody brought with him, like the true wrestlers.
Yeah.
Once they got involved, we understood what was going on. But this like entourage posse degenerate rejects that Tyson brought with him looked like he grabbed some hobos off the street. And I'm told these are some prominent names in like boxing and fighting that he brought with him. Could have fooled me.
The way they acted, like you said, must have been hobos.
Well, but they were, right? I mean, one guy looked like he had like washed off mascara on his face or some shit.
You would think they would have rehearsed this. Yes, folks, by the way, oh my God, we rehearse things. You would have thought something like this, they would have at least rehearsed it for a little while.
Greg's calling you out. He says, be careful, Butters. I'll put Andy back on top of this duo. I mean, I do carry the show. So, just saying. Moving on. Go continue what you were saying about them rehearsing it.
I totally lost my train of thought.
Shocked. No, but
okay,
you're right.
I mean, they could have at least rehearsed something, and instead it looks like all they did was, said, this is what we're doing, go out there and do it. Like,
you don't even have to rehearse something. You just have to have a very clear and precise idea of what you're going to do. If you're going to say to me, hey, we're going to go out there, we're going to do the push, we're going to brawl, they're going to pull us apart, let's try to fight through it. Yeah. Your guys over there, my guys over here, holding us back. No one's throwing hands, no one's fighting each other, right? It looks like we are, but we're not doing that. We're just holding everybody back. That's so much better than, oh, we're just going to do our thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to fight Jericho. And I'm going to try to fight Jericho. And I'm going to try to fight this random putz over here. Like, that's not what I need. I don't need that with a storyline. I ran into somebody the other day at the AT&T store. And they tried telling me that AEW is better than WWE. While wearing an Undertaker t-shirt.
That's like a picture I saw the other day of a kid or a guy, showing a picture of his, when he was a kid, he got to meet Kane, but he was wearing a WCW t-shirt.
But not even that, right? That doesn't bother me. Back then, that doesn't bother me. Yeah. But if you want to tell me, and put Prism's comment up, yeah. Thank you. Oh, by the way, big shout out. Frank Vespi is here with us in the back, hanging out, producing for us, putting all your comments up there. You can catch Frank every Wednesday night on The Fix. Don't ask me what time they start because I don't even think they know anymore. So Prism says, it helped push me further out of American wrestling. Too much sports entertainment. They were supposed to be sports-based wrestling. It's WWE versus ECW. WWE/ECW light. WCW. I personally prefer the serious promotions. And then he continues to say, New Japan Pro Wrestling is greater than everybody else. I want to take that. Prism, I have a ton of respect for you, man. You're always here. You're always part of all the shows, chiming in and everything like that, and I love it. Keep doing it. I'm going to take your comment, but I'm going to elaborate on it a little bit more. I disagree saying that New Japan's better than everybody else. But I agree with the fact that when AEW came out, they turned around and they said, we're going to be more wrestling, right? We're going to be more of that, of what you came to see. Yeah, we have to have the entertainment factor, right? Because we're an entertainment brand, right? We're a sports entertainment brand. There has to be some kind of story to go through. I'm not going to turn on a wrestling show. And I say me, right? The casual fan's not going to turn on AEW, see the just wrestling and go, why are they wrestling? Why does he not like him? Right? Why am I watching this? Right? They're not going to do that. They're going to want to turn it on and go, oh, hey, well, that guy doesn't like that guy because he stole his girlfriend and then tried to marry his sister. Do you know what I mean? Or he wants that title that he has. You know, something like that. Right? Like, you have to have a little bit of that entertainment value there. The wrestling has to be good, obviously, because you've come out and said we're going to be wrestling.
You got to have
We're
a
going to
little
be
bit of
more
background, a little bit of the background information, and it sets the tone for the match.
Exactly. Give me a stake. Right? There need to be stakes in matches. Eric Bischoff says it all the time. You can't just send two people out there to wrestle and expect the audience to care. What are they fighting for? Right? Now, every once in a while, do you need a filler for time? Absolutely. You're going to throw hodgepodge something together and hope it sticks.
Yeah.
It may stick, it may not, right? That's fine. But when your whole show, and my argument was, when your whole show feels like a hodgepodge, and you're not telling, because not only do you have to take all these segments, call it 10 segments in a show, not only does each segment have to further its own story, but you need to have an overarching story for the show. Segment 1 needs to correlate to segment 3, 7, and 10.
Yeah.
Right? Bookend it with something. However the show starts, you have to bookend it at the end of the night.
Smackdown, did it perfectly this week. This week with, just like you said, it starts with one thing, and it bookends with, at the end of the show with that same thing.
Exactly. Right? Now, I won't say that AEW never does that. Right?
Yeah. No.
But more times than not, do I sit there and I watch a promo, or I watch I read a recap of the show, or I watch a whole show, right? And I sit there and I wonder to myself, what the hell am I doing? Right? And I'm a diehard wrestling fan. And I sit there and I have to question what's happening here. I can usually watch something and pick something up pretty quickly. Not this. And for you to sit there and tell me that AEW is better than WWE, where's your proof? Now, if you prefer it more than WWE, that's fine.
And that's what I would rather people come out and say is, oh, I prefer this over this, instead of going, well, this is better than this because I said so and you got to take it.
Right, like, I'm okay with your opinion. I may tell you you're wrong, but that's my right to. It's my right to say that you're wrong. That's why we're here. We're agree to disagree. It's in the damn name of the company, people. Speaking of agree to disagree, make sure you check them out tomorrow. I don't know if they're doing the early show or the late show, but lots of sports stuff to talk about tomorrow. So check out Tom and the boys tomorrow for Agree to Disagree. Moving on. I could have really done those WWE shop plugs back in the day. Those corny X plugs, I really could have done those pretty well. Yeah, I missed my calling. But
I think
no.
you were a little too young at the time.
Details, semantics.
Give or take a year or two.
Yeah, whatever. You're not that much older, Grandpa. Yeah. But no, like, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to tell me you prefer AEW over WWE.
Yeah.
Just like Prism, with his opinion, that New Japan's better than everyone else. He's entitled to that.
And I'm on that. and I'm the person that, I like them all. I can't say one's better than the other because I'm going to watch it all and I'm going to enjoy it because that's what I enjoy is watching wrestling. It's not about the show because I will sit there. I'll watch New Japan. I'll watch AEW. I'll even watch Impact, damn it. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, maybe a little bit of AAA if I'm bored. But, to me, wrestling is wrestling and I'm going to watch it regardless of what show it is because I'm a wrestling fan. And if most true wrestling fans are gonna say, "I will watch it because it is wrestling and it is there."
Absolutely. I may not watch a full show of anything. Like WWE, I try to watch the full show just because it's what I grew up on, right? Like
Yep.
it's been my constant, it's been my standard for pro wrestling for all my life, But I have found myself lately going back and watching old Impact stuff. And I'm talking like right around the time they went to started traveling. Dixie Carter comes into play, Aces and Eights, all that different stuff. And I forget, like, this was really good.
Aces and Eights is really what made that company so much better. And I was watching TNA when they were first coming up.
Yeah, I was too.
Random, it was always I always watching TNA on random ass, cable channels. They're in some random, stadium or some random high school, but it was TNA. It was still Impact. Up until the point where they had their own show on Spike TV. Yes, I'm that old.
They had, so what you're talking about is they were, and I'm going to get to Prism's FTR debut comment in just one moment. But you're talking about like Fox Sports. They were on Fox Sports back in the day where they had the timer up at the top and who was in the match and everything. Like those were the Asylum days. And then you transition from Asylum and you go to the Impact Zone. And the Impact Zone's where TNA really took off. And it was at the Universal Studios. I'll never forget. That's how I found out that TNA was TNA.
Yeah.
When I would watch them on Fox Sports, they never really said what they were. They were just pro wrestling, right? Shark Boy versus AJ Styles. Hey, it is
Shark Boy.
It is one of the founders of the FWO. It is my man, Mr. Pete Evans. You guys can check Pete out every Tuesday on Birds of a Feather. They're currently going through their NFL draft. Last week was the highly anticipated running backs episode. Next week, I swear to God, I have no idea what they're doing. The whole purpose behind this, though, is you've got Pete, Brodo, Tom, Chucks, Chrome, and Kevin. Everybody's drafting their own team. And at the end, you, the fam, you guys get to vote on who you think had the better team. Ended up picking the better team. So it's actually a fun watch. I mean, last week Tom ends up jumping in the pool.
Yes!
Okay, I didn't know we had that queued up. Apparently we had that queued up. Thank you, Frank.
I seen that the other day. I was laughing my backside off.
And so yeah, that's the kind of stuff you guys can catch on Birds of a Feather and all our other HUD shows right now. Yeah, and Prism hits it right the nail on the head. Chucks and Kevin are the reasons to watch. You never know what's going to happen. Let me elaborate on that. You never know what dumb thing they're going to say. Kevin looks like he's on Mars, and Chucks is out there picking Miles Sanders at number 3. It's one half dozen the other. So, with that being said, though, the Impact days, my exposure to that was I'm walking through Universal Studio, and I swear to God, I look at my dad and I go, Dad, isn't that Jimmy Hart? And he goes, no, it's not. I said, Dad, I think that's Jimmy Hart. And he looks and he goes, son of a bitch, it's Jimmy Hart. What's Jimmy Hart doing here? And Jimmy's trying to get people to come in to the Impact Zone and watch. So I said, Dad, when we get home, you got to remember, this. We have to find it. And I would find it and I would watch it, and it would never click with me because I didn't get it, right? A 6-sided ring, whiny Jeff Jarrett.
I love the 6-sided ring.
I love the 6-sided ring too, but your main villain was Jeff Jarrett, just
Yeah.
whiny and bitchy and moaning. And then I go back and I'm like, wait, I love that. now as an adult, I'm like, wait, no, I
Jeff
like that.
Jarrett, Sting, the upcoming
Jim
of
Cornette,
AJ Styles and Samoa Joe getting their
Christopher
start.
Daniels.
Yep.
There's a lot of big names. We'll have to do a TNA Impact conversation. We'll do something with lazy booking here in the future. We'll try to do a little retrospective on that time of pro wrestling. But Prism says at one point I was recording. Holy God, Lucha Underground, AAA, Ring of Honor, MLW, Fusion, WWE, TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I remember ordering TNA pay-per-views before they had a TV deal. Prism, bro, how do you have that kind of time to watch that? The Prism Samoa Joe feud was, I think he's supposed to say amazing. But yeah,
was.
so like their Impact was huge, right? And they did great things there, and then they kind of floundered off. AEW has had the potential to do great things,
Mm-hmm.
and they really haven't done anything with it. You know what I mean? They have let this transpire. Now, I will say, looking at Double or Nothing, having Brian Cage win that casino ladder match in his debut, so now he's the number one contender for Jon Moxley's title. Cody Rhodes is your TNT champion. That's another huge deal, right? He beats Lance Archer.
I was kind
Right?
of shocked at that one, honestly.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I mean, but then again, it is Cody with that god awful silver belt.
I think, but so I've read the reports on that. They were supposed to have gold put on it, but the gold didn't get there in time, and they kind of backed themselves into a corner. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Maybe it'll look a lot better once it's gold plated.
Maybe.
Because that silver plating does it no justice with the way they got it made right now.
Hikaru Shida defeated Nyla Rose for the AEW title. Jon Moxley defeats Brody Lee. And then in the Stadium Series Stampede match, the Elite defeats the Inner Circle. This was just fun.
I watched the bits and pieces and I loved it. I have heard so much negativity on this match. I have heard so many people hating on it. As much as I love, listening to Jim Cornette, him bitching about it like, bro, come on.
I was actually talking to Frank while he was watching that match. And Frank, if you're still back there, Frank was dying watching this match. And his reactions were just so genuine and off the wall that I was like, all right, now I have to go watch this match. Like, what the hell are they doing? And some of the stuff that they're... See? Yeah, Frank, exactly. He agrees in his creepy, dark little room. You ever heard of a light?
Yes.
But I mean, so you watched the Stadium Stampede. Tell me about it.
It was bonkers. I loved it, especially with the part where Santana and Ortiz were dunking Matt Hardy and pulling him up. They're changing into different versions of him. So you get like the version 1 Matt Hardy. You get the Matt Fax on one side. You get the broken Matt Hardy. It was all sorts of bonkers. Then you got Jericho like throwing the challenge flag on the ref. It was like you had to see to believe what was going on in this match.
I mean, and that ends with a one-winged angel off the top.
Oh yeah.
Off of a camera platform through a bunch of plunder underneath. Brian Wilson chiming in saying, "Get your wrestling fix." Saying, "What's up, nerds? What's up, fat boy?" But it was just Jericho hits the Jacksonville Jaguars mascot with a Judas effect. and 100-yard rolling Northern Light suplexes, a mid-match drink break, and so much more.
Wait. Did you just say a mid-match drink break?
I am a mid-match drink break. I can't make this up.
Yep, there was a drink break. Milk and whatever choice of drink Adam Page was having. I thought they were going to make White Russians, but the drink break was that was out of nowhere. But I enjoyed it. Just every single bit of it, like especially like the tiny little details. Like it's worth just checking everything out. It's like a Where's Waldo kind of match.
So that kind of leads to the question, though. I see Prism saying they're rehashing stuff Matt did in TNA with the Broken Universe. I don't know if you call that a rehashing because it's Broken Matt Hardy.
That's what I say. I think you're just extending on what's been given.
Yeah, and you're poking fun at other stuff. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay, especially with the Broken Matt thing, because the Broken Matt thing has so many layers to it.
And WWE would never expand on it. And that's kind of what made me sad about him.
Well, they did that one time. They did that weird backwards Halloween thing at the Hardy residence with the hurricane and all this weird, which we never got a finishing to. It was to be continued, and it never continued. Right? So for all we know, the hurricane's dead in a ditch somewhere. But no, I mean, in order to have Broken Matt Hardy, you have to have Vanguard 1. You're going to have the Dilapidated Boat. You're going to have the Lake of Reincarnation. You're going to have Senior Benjamin. You're going to have all these things. King Maxwell. That's what makes that character. The fact that it's a family thing makes that character.
And even as loudmouth and outspoken as his wife is, I mean, she even adds, character to that,
But her stuff that she's done in these Broken Universes, whether it was TNA or WWE or whatever, right? Yeah. She doesn't say much. Is she outspoken outside of the ring? Is she a whirlwind outside of the ring? Absolutely. But it's because it's her family. Right? Like, when you start talking about family, you're going to get passionate. I can't blame her for that. I love Rebby. I think she's hysterical. I follow her on Snapchat, and she's a trip.
I was going to say, there's times where she just loses her shit, and I'm like, oh, boy, here we go.
Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah, exactly. Where's my popcorn? So let's talk WWE, though, before we get to the cluster that was Dynamite this week. Screw it. Let's do Dynamite first. There's really not a lot to talk about from it.
No. I mean,
we do have All Out coming soon.
We got more of the Jericho Tyson encounter that we talked about earlier.
Yeah. But all right, so hold on. I told Prism I think it was Prism that said it. I told Prism we talk about FTR. Yeah, it was Prism. FTR, what do we think of their debut? So they show up during the Butcher and Blade match. Not match. The Butcher and Blade attack the Young Bucks in the ring. Then FTR, they are the top guys formerly known as the Revival, drove an old-fashioned truck into the arena, ran to the ring, and after a brief stare down with the Bucks, they attack Butch and Blade. This is interesting to me because I wanted to see the Revival and the Bucks lock horns for a while. For them to turn around and attach Butch and Blade, it's weird.
I think this is just to set up that match for the Revival versus the Young Bucks going, hey, we saved your ass, give us a match with each, or, something, show, hey, this is, we're FTR, we're here, this is what we can do, bring it.
Right, absolutely. I like the fact that they're there. Good for them. I said it.
Oh, I was excited. I open up Twitter and all of a sudden I see FTR. They're here, and I'm like, who's here? I watch the clip and I go, oh, I'm excited now.
Well, and like it dropped in. I have like 15 different wrestling group chats that I'm in. It dropped in one of them, and we had talked about it for a little bit. And I made the comment. I was like, you know what? I'm glad they're there. I'm glad they have the opportunity to get some work. They're as long as they're taken care of properly.
Yep. As long as we get, the one thing that they want is real tag team wrestling and not back burner tag team wrestling.
Exactly, 100%. Okay, I've had enough AEW talk.
Hey, at least we got to it this week.
Yeah, we did, and don't get me wrong, right? I have nothing against it.
Yeah,
I really don't, but it doesn't hook me. It doesn't bring me in the way it's supposed to right now. Now, I do pay attention to certain things. I love Cody Rhodes, so anything involving Cody, I'm paying attention to. And now with this FTR thing, I'm going to pay attention a little bit more. Prism says the Revival broke my heart not going to New Japan, and yeah, major letdown for them attacking Butch and Blade. Hopefully, Rusev finds himself versus Okada or Naito. Has it been confirmed that Rusev is going to Japan?
I haven't seen or heard anything about Rusev in a while. That makes me want to, look that up right now as we speak. Nothing. It's just people saying, "Oh, Rusev should go to New Japan. Rusev should go to AEW." Like, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
I don't even think it's that. I don't even think it's a shoulda, woulda, coulda. I think it's more of where is the best fit for Rusev?
Yep.
Is he a big enough star to go to New Japan and hold his own over there? Can he survive in a New Japan setting where it's more, I'm just going to go out there and beat the shit out of you, and less, happy Rusev Day?
I honestly feel like Rusev could hold it down over there in New Japan.
I don't know. But see, I only watch New Japan matches. I don't watch anything else, so I have no baseline for it. You know what I mean?
I feel like he could hold it down in anywhere he goes. I mean, you look at what he did in WWE with what they gave him, not going to talk, not talking about his wife and Lashley bullshit. Everything else that they gave him, the man can run with it. So I feel like wherever he goes, wherever he holds down, he's going to be able to take the ball and head for the hills with it.
Right, if they give him the opportunity to.
Correct.
Okay. We're done with that. I don't need that. We're going to get to that in a moment. Monday Night Raw. How happy are you that Apollo Crews is the new U.S. champion?
Does that answer it for you?
I'm going to hope you never, ever do that again. That was disturbing on so many levels. Dear God, make it stop.
It's about time for a title change, but the fact that, they gave Apollo Crews the U.S. title, yes, it's about time you push Apollo Crews into something.
Well, Prism, confirm that you're talking about Rusev just real fast. I don't ever like to assume with these things. I think you are, but I don't ever like to assume when we're talking about someone's opinion or different things like that. So if he's talking about Rusev, he says his style fits better in New Japan. He'd get into a feud with Brody Lee or Trex over in AEW. I'm okay with a Brody Lee feud, though. I really am. I think that would be a lot of fun. It'd be different, very different. But I don't think that would happen anytime soon with what they're doing with Brody Lee and Jon Moxley.
Yep.
So I was there the night Apollo Crews debuted on the main roster. It was the Raw after WrestleMania 32. It was the American Airlines Center 4 years ago, right? And so like when I don't know if you do the same thing, but when you see someone debut like, and you're there live for it, or even if you watch it on TV, good God, man, get away from the camera. When you see it live on TV or you're there in person, you're more prone to follow that person's career.
Yeah.
Keep up with it. And it's a shame that here we are 4 years into it, and he's just now getting his first title. He is so talented.
And
in the ring, outside of the ring.
And he gets all that thanks, he talked in an interview, I think it was today, saying, it was all Paul Heyman that, helped him get that shot for the title, get that shot, the push on Raw that we saw, oh dear Lord. You don't want to shuffle. I don't want to blind people, sorry.
No, we don't want to get thrown off the air.
But, he thanks Paul Heyman for where he's at right now. And quite honestly, I got to thank Paul Heyman, too, for where a lot of people are currently. Because if it wasn't for Paul giving a lot of these superstars a chance, we wouldn't be seeing, Ricochet and Cedric Alexander together. We wouldn't be seeing Apollo Crews as the new United States champion and so forth. We wouldn't be seeing an actual halfway decent Raw.
So think about that, though, for a minute. 3 weeks ago on this program, we talked about Zelina Vega and this little faction that she was building.
Yep.
It was Zelina with the U.S. champion Andrade. She had Angel Garza and Austin Theory. And she was on top of Raw. Like, they could not be stopped. They were positioning themselves to be a dominant faction.
Yep.
And now here we are 3 weeks later. Austin Theory is with the Monday Night Messiah. Angel Garza is in obscurity, and Andrade has dropped his title.
It's about time that Andrade defended, dropped it, done something with it. I mean,
don't get me wrong, I agree, right? But at the same time, it's like you did all this work for Zelina and this crew that she was building, and you just took it away from her.
Yep.
And from them too, right? And obviously WWE has plexiglass around the ring, and they've got people in the audience. And
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, I'm eye rolling, but don't get me wrong. It was nice to hear the noise, hear the crowd, the pop for Apollo won his title, woo! But I mean, it's WWE superstars. I mean, I get it. You can't have much of an audience, but they could have showed a little more enthusiasm.
It's week one. I'll give them some credit. We got the man, the myth, the legend, heel Chrome in the building. Man doesn't know a start time if it slapped him in the face. He is your host of Birds of a Feather, which I talked about earlier, discussing the different positions and doing their draft and everything like that. But also, Chrome is the host of our brother wrestling show, Lazy Booking, over on Thursday nights here at HUD Radio. And 1 week from Thursday night, Chrome has secured an interview with the manager of champions, the original whistleblower himself, the man called Bill Alfonso.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, so big shout out to Chrome and what he's been doing with Lazy Booking over there, and he has let me be a part of it all, and it's been so much fun. Guys, if you missed the David Starr interview from this past week, go check it out. And 2 weeks ago, we had Ken Shamrock over on the program as well. Both were amazing interviews. Ken Shamrock cuts arguably the promo of the decade. We were ready to run through a wall. Chrome got obliterated by David Starr. That's why he says you must mean the doormat of David Starr, Chrome. David ripped into him. It was fantastic. You have to go back and check it out, guys. That's something you have to watch to see. Yeah, you can go listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, all those other podcast sources. But when we're done, fire up your YouTube, go back and watch that David Starr interview. It's fantastic. Literally one of the best things I've ever seen. But so anyway, you took all of that away from Zelina. Oh, I already did that. The Apollo Crews and the fans and all that. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with having fans in the arena, right? Because
I'm not knocking it. I'm just knocking the lack of enthusiasm.
Was it lack of enthusiasm, or was it the fact that you didn't have a ton of people there, so it didn't feel like what we're used to feeling?
And that very well could be, honestly and truly. Now that you say that that right there hits the nail right on the head. There's not enough people to make it seem like, yeah, because the moment Apollo Crews won that title, if there would have been a full crowd, that roof
That place would have lost their mind.
Because oh my God, they gave Apollo Crews a chance, or they're giving him a chance. Thank God.
Exactly.
And then look at earlier in the show, the slap heard around the damn world. I had to watch that slap at least 3 or 4 times back.
Was that show?
I thought that was.
No, that was a couple weeks ago.
Was it?
Yeah, he doesn't slap him this week. It was a couple weeks ago. I know what slap you're talking about.
Because I was like,
So Chrome chiming in, saying, "Oh wait, we're going to Prism." Oh, the whistle. Talking about the Alfonso interview in a couple of weeks. He says, "Whistle times 2,000." Then the match starts. Alfonso actually pumped for that one. Chrome chiming in, "I'm not concerned with Zelina. She's money, and she showed it. Austin was sort of out of place, and now the rub will be big with Seth for him." No, I agree. I'm not concerned about Zelina. I know she can bring the money, but you positioned her to have this faction, this stable, and it just kind of felt like we pulled away for no reason. Like we're deteriorating for no reason.
Yeah.
And the Apollo moment is so far overdue. I just wish it could have been in front of a full arena. Totally 100% agree. Asuka is on the KO show. She's interrupted by Charlotte Flair, who says that the Raw Women's Championship should have been handed to Charlotte because Asuka's never beaten her. And then for some random damn reason, Natalya and Nia Jax arrive. Asuka fights all 3 women off, and we go to commercial. Seth Rollins cuts a promo on a Rey Mysterio mask. Mysterio will have a quote-unquote retirement ceremony on next week's Raw.
Shades of Mark Henry, anybody?
Nah, I'll be mad. Don't pull another Mark Henry. That was special. For what it was, that was super special.
But I mean, it's like, I feel like they're going to pull something. And whether it be similar, close to Mark
Just
Henry.
let them act. If this is truly a retirement match, ceremony,
Yeah.
Let it be a retirement ceremony. Ray's done so much for the industry. Let him retire.
Or is Ray going to retire the mask and go maskless?
I don't know. Chrome chiming in again. We'll make this real simple. Nia sucks. No explanation needed. Well, what's the matter, Butters? Are you a Nia fan?
You of all people. The whole show should know I've been a Nia fan.
Why are you a Nia fan?
I've been a Nia fan and a Bayley fan.
Can you just pick a winner? Just once. Pick someone good.
Bayley's been winning.
With Sasha's help.
Don't matter, she's been winning. You said pick a winner. I have been picking a winner.
But then I said pick someone good.
Okay, Nia Jax.
Do we need to have the definition of the word good read off to you?
Okay, gooder. How about that?
I'm doing the show with Chrome from now on.
Okay, fine. fine. I'll pick Dana Brooke.
I'm okay with that though, because Dana Brooks money. No, and Chrome's right. Like realistically, when you take that step back, Ray's not retiring,
Yeah.
right? But there is a part of me that's like I go back to like the Flair retirement, right? Like I want that for somebody like Ray. I want that for some people. Chrome says, "What the fuck, Butters?" Hashtag velocity.
Hey,
Thank you.
I'll take Velocity over Sunday Night Heat any day.
Shut up, because then he's gonna call us Sunday Night Heat, and this is all your fault.
No, we're Velocity because we're on Saturday.
But this is still your fault. I mean, like, come on. But I have to agree with Chrome, right? Like, Naya's she's not good. Oh, please. No. Tell me why she's good.
I have my favorites. You have your favorites. Leave me alone.
No, because your favorites suck. Just saying. I'm just saying. I have to agree with Chrome on this one. Chrome and I don't always agree, but I have to agree with the Chromer on this one.
The Chromer, huh?
The Chromer. Yeah. I don't think it's going to stick. I don't know. Or what about it? The Chromer is just doesn't work for me, no matter how many times I say it. So the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits decided to go golfing.
I'm sorry, but I've hated these segments. I have not.
The basketball one was funny.
First we get basketball, then we get axe throwing. Now we're golfing.
The only thing that would have like made the golfing thing better is if Kerwin White would have showed up.
Yes.
Like then I'm interested. Then I'm invested. But I think this is getting old. Just let them fight. Let the Viking Raiders take the titles and we move on.
That's what I say. I think maybe at Backlash we'll see a title match, maybe, but I could be wrong.
Maybe. Chrome says list of Nia's victims: Charlotte, Zelina, Bailey, Ember, Becky, Kyrie, R-Truth.
When Kyrie.
Can't have someone that unsafe working. Nia's like a serial killer.
So is Seth. He ended 2 careers. I mean, come on.
Okay. 2 versus how many names did I just read off? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
She didn't end them. Still
Sting was like 60 years old. You can't blame him for that. I am a Sting mark. Okay? Like that night, that was here. That was in Houston. I was there because I freaked out that I got to see the man they call Sting wrestle in apparently his final match, right? But
jealous of you.
Yeah, well, get in line. But like that Sting's just old, man.
It's not the point.
What was the other career he ended?
Huh?
What was
there was another one. I could swear there was another one, but I could be wrong. It might have just been Sting.
Okay. Not giving you that at all.
But it's still, Nia hasn't ended any careers. She's just injured them.
She destroyed a Survivor Series main event by messing up a punch.
But she started a gimmick that has led to an amazing career with that punch.
No, she didn't. The gimmick was already there.
Yeah, but it
put up Chrome's next comment. Prism, I'll come back to you. I promise. Sting said himself, Seth didn't hurt him. He didn't take the move right, and he didn't end Finn's career. Do you watch NXT, Butters? Let me answer that for you. No. You might get a pass because you haven't been to bed yet, right? So I might give you a pass here. But to tell me Nia's okay when, one, to Chrome's point, she legit almost killed Charlotte in 17 by botching a move, and then she messed up a punch. The foundation of professional wrestling, you screwed it up, and you
I'll
broke
give you
Becky's
that one.
nose. We didn't get Becky Ronda. Now, granted, we got Becky Ronda Charlotte at the end of the longest WrestleMania of my entire life.
You're never gonna let that one down, are you?
No, that was damn long. It was the first 2-day WrestleMania. I don't care what you say. The main event started on Monday. But like we got that, right? That was cool, but you screwed the pooch on that. Ronda screwed the pooch. Not Ronda. Nia, sorry.
Oh no! You said Ronda.
Oh, now that's the best you got. Shut up. We're moving
That's
on.
the best my brain's got.
Chrome says, forget the punch. She almost killed somebody. Yeah, let's talk about that. She almost killed somebody. You putz.
All right.
Put Prism's comment back up if you don't mind, Frank. Zelina should lead by example. She's a better worker than half the females. Imagine if she became women's champ and still the leader of her stable. First ever women-led stable as champion. Dope. I was with you until you said she became women's champion. She doesn't wrestle enough for that.
I don't. As I say, I don't see her being a women's champion, especially not anytime soon.
No.
Oh boy! All right.
The stuff you find on
Thank you,
HUD Radio.
Prism.
Murphy and Austin Fury defeated Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo. Rollins started to put Carrillo's eye out, like he did if Mysterious if Black didn't back down. Black versus Rollins is going to happen on this week's Raw. Nia Jax defeated Natalya and Charlotte Flair to become the number one contender for the Raw Women's title. We continue on.
Well, we know Asuka ain't gonna lose the title anytime soon.
Although I will say, if Nia beats Asuka, I need to. Reactions will happen.
Oh, I so wish I wasn't at work for that night.
Chrome adds, I never want Zelina in the ring. I hate this idea that everyone thinks that everyone needs to work in the ring. She could be a Hall of Famer by being an iconic heel manager.
Yes, very much so. I will agree with that one. Yeah.
That might be comment of the night right there. That might be because he's 100% right.
Yes.
Right, and I didn't want this entire show to go off on a tangent of Zelina Vega. I'm not mad about it, but Zelina wrestles when she needs to for the storyline purpose. Like when she wrestled Bianca Belair a few weeks ago, right after WrestleMania. It fit the moment. She doesn't have to be a wrestler, right? We all know she can hold her own, right? But she only gets in the ring when it fits the moment, right? And that's what I love about her. She will go down as the sensational Sherry of our generation.
I'll give you that one, yeah.
And if Chrome's got a better analogy, I'm all open for it. But I have to go with like when I think best female managers, especially as a heel, I go sensational Sherry.
I would go with with her being the heel, I would go with sensational Sherry over Liz any day of the week.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Flair believes Randy Orton will defeat Edge in the greatest wrestling match ever. R-Truth and Gronkowski cut promos on each other by video, which included Gronk calling R-Truth R lies. Yeah, guys, I can't make that up. He calls them R lies.
Have you heard Triple H's comment on Brady possibly winning the 24/7 title?
No, what is it?
He states how Brady could possibly win the 24/7 title at a football game.
I need that to happen.
But basically by, pass the ball to Gronk. Gronk scores that touchdown and just, spikes that ball. Yeah, touchdown. Brady comes up to go get for the high five or something and rolls him up.
I need that to happen. I so desperately want that to happen.
And then he says, and you could even have, Gronk after, another play or two. Gronk just, all of a sudden just rolls Brady up and wins the title back.
I might watch every Tampa Bay Bucks game now just for that.
But I'm like, I can see it.
Chrome, going back to Zelina for a moment, the art of the pure valet or manager is lost. Even iconic women in the industry have said that if it's all right if certain women don't work in the ring and just be the heater for their talents. He's absolutely right. Like we talked about Liz and Sensational Sherry. And even
they didn't need to be in the ring and wrestle. They didn't need to win a championship to be relevant.
Yeah,
because they were relevant as a manager, managerial role. They were relevant as the
relevant can be. Chrome says Sherry was a Hall of Fame talent in the ring alone, but just looking at her impact as a manager, Zelina has that potential. Absolutely, like nails on the head. Just keep hammering that point home, right? Excuse me. I truly think Zelina is the next. So Vega managing isn't getting me into the building or me tuning in. Why?
I'm pretty sure most of us are tuning in just to see Vega another week to see what the hell she does.
But that's not the only reason why. I get that, right? Like I understand his point of it's not. Let me phrase that. I hope his point is it's not the only thing getting him to tune in. It shouldn't be the only thing.
Yeah.
Right? There's so much else going on that should get you there. But when she's a part of some of the more compelling stories and she's one of the better voices on the microphone that we have right now and she's got the right talent around her, you may not think she's the reason you're tuning in, but she's the reason you're tuning in.
That's fixate, back when we had, Vicky Guerrero.
God, I loathe that woman.
Yeah, you loathe her enough, though, that you still love her.
But literally, like, I only loathe her because I was supposed to loathe her. Like it's like going back. It's like going back and watching some of the stuff with Dixie Carter. I know in my soul, like Dixie Carter's not this bad person, but there are times when you just watch wrestling to watch wrestling.
Yep.
You don't watch it to break it down or anything like that. You're just watching it. And you're like, wow, she plays that role really well. Like, I really hate this woman. I want to see the Dudleys put her through a table.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Liv Morgan still doesn't know who she is. Shock. Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits defeat MVP and Bobby Lashley by disqualification after Lashley refuses to release a full Nelson. After the match, Lashley and McIntyre brawl. Not a whole lot to take away from Raw. We obviously get Apollo Crews winning his first title. We get some advancement with the women, and then this Lashley Drew McIntyre thing does continue to play out.
Correct.
So in the interim Cruiserweight Championship tournament match, this was the finals for the I think the A group. Think.
Yes. This is the A group. They're facing the B group winner El Hijo del Fantasma.
Wait, say that again?
El Hijo del Fantasma.
Oh. That's who won the A group. So this was B group.
No, this was A group. B group. The B group winner was El Hijo del Fantasma.
Oh, that already happened already.
Yeah, that already happened already. So
okay.
The triple threat match was to determine the A group winner because all their points were the same: 2-1, 2-1, 2-1.
Okay. Prism says wrestling over sports entertainment. Brother, we're gonna have to agree to disagree. I like the wrestling. I do like sports entertainment as well. Edwin James chiming in. I just got here, but did y'all touch Jeff Hardy yet? No, we didn't. We're gonna go through NXT right now, I won't say very quickly, but we're gonna touch on stuff with NXT, and then we're gonna get to SmackDown. So stay tuned. Put Chrome back up. He said something about it's still real to me. Nonsense. You always watch it to break it down, Ritz. Hashtag still real to me. Not when I'm having a lazy day, man. Not when I'm watching old stuff. I like literally last Sunday, I threw on YouTube. I hit play on an Impact like top 5 or something, and I just sat in my chair all day and watched Impact for like 8 hours on autoplay on YouTube and just let it play.
Heck yeah.
I'm not sure what I watched half the time. I was so confused, but I was like,
You just
okay.
knew Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, I knew it was Impact. I knew it was between this year and this year. I could figure that part out. NXT, obviously, Drake Maverick is going to have, it looks like he's going to have this Cinderella story against El Hijo del Fantasma as they get ready to do battle for the interim Cruiserweight Championship. Chrome says, when have you not had a lazy day? Hashtag FWO.
Woo! Shots fired.
Well, so here's the thing, though. I don't have one of those cushy, like, 9 to 5 office jobs, and I get to work from home now, sitting in my PJs, eating bonbons, and watching Oprah, like Oprah reruns, right? So I actually have to go out and convince someone to give me their money for a vehicle.
Shoot an atomic bomb. Oh, dear Jesus.
And so when I have my days off and I'm done working my 60-hour weeks, I do enjoy the occasional drink of tea, my butt in my chair, and my YouTube. Which, by the way, guys, make sure you're subscribing to A2D Radio on YouTube.
Boom.
Later in the show, footage revealed that Maverick pinned Atlas while Atlas was tapping out to Kushida. Maverick wanted to win fairly, but Kushida approached him and told him to win to keep his job. Maverick promised Kushida the first title shot should he win the championship. Now that kind of tells me that Maverick might be winning.
I don't know. That kind of tells me Maverick might not be winning.
I don't know there.
I mean, it's one of those. It would not put it past me for WWE to pull that big ass swerve like they've done in the past.
I mean, fair.
I feel like we're gonna get that swerve, and I as much as I like a good swerve every now and then. This is a swerve I don't want to see.
Fair point. Edwin James chimes in. Drake's contract had 3 matches left when he was to be released, right? Not a real chance for him to win the tourney. We're gonna forget about that little detail though.
Here's the thing though. If he had 3 matches left, he's about to be on match number 5.
I know. So if you were paying attention, WWE just forget about it. We're just going to put that over here. That never really happened. We're gonna retcon a little bit. Charlotte Flair will defend the NXT Women's Championship in a triple threat match against Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley. Gargano defeated Adrian Alanis. This was the first match in the Johnny Gargano Invitational. Afterwards, Gargano and LeRae were interrupted with a video of Keith Lee and Mia Yim mocking them over dinner. It also featured Tegan Knox bringing Lee and Yim a pizza. LeRae will face Yim next week. Chelsea Green tagged with Charlotte Flair to defeat Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley. Damn, that's a tongue twister.
Ripley, huh?
Yeah, well, hey, look. It is the man they call Ryan Brodo, co-host of the Wednesday Night Fix, producer of some of A2D's great stuff, including Birds of a Feather, Hockey Happy Hour, Lazy Booking, and sometimes us. So thank you for joining us, Mr. Brodo. I liked Charlotte and Chelsea tagging here. I thought it was a good fit. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, you gonna comment on that? Charlotte and Chelsea Green tagging?
Was I gonna comment on that one?
I don't know. Were you? You just kind of like. I think you had an out of body experience. I'm not sure what just happened there.
I don't either.
Okay. So on that note, Chrome said he had 3 matches left because of his group in the tourney, not an actual number, guys. It fit the storyline. I completely agree with you, Chrome. I'm
And I
screwing
agree too.
around
I was
over
like,
here.
I don't think they have a set number of matches in their contracts to begin with, do they?
I've never read a WWE contract, so Rockstar Spud and Marco Stunt should use the Shaquille O'Neal empty shoes boxes as travel. Oh wow, that's amazing. That's great.
Oh, Lord. We got short jokes. What's next? Fat jokes? Oh, wait. I already got asked to do the truffle shuffle.
I was gonna say something else, but you know. Ciampa beats Leon Ruff with a fairy tale ending. After the Scarlett stood at ringside throughout the match, stared at Ciampa. Cross's giant face appeared on the video screen after the match and promised that Takeover in Your House, he'll make Ciampa feel something he's never felt in his life. Kurt Angle was a special guest referee during the Fight Pit match where Thatcher loses some teeth, but he's able to choke out Matt Riddle, who we already talked about is now going to Friday Night SmackDown.
Which, this cage match, I watched this one. It was an amazing cage match. There were some great spots. They, going up to the, I guess you'd call it a catwalk surrounding the top of the ring. Thatcher locking in the ankle lock, the wraparound ankle lock with Riddle trying to pull himself away from it. I'm thinking, why would you try to do that when you just put yourself in a predicament that could potentially make you tap out? Because you're hanging over the cage and he's locked in.
Right.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, they put on a hell of a match.
For sure. And you knew they would going into it, right?
And I kind of hope to see, not very often, but I kind of hope to see this type of match, further down the line. Because I did like this kind of cage match.
I don't want it to happen all the time, though.
No, that's what I said. I don't want to see it all the time, but I do like to see it every once in a blue moon.
So let's go over to Friday Night SmackDown, but I see Chrome jumped in. Guys, I'd fucking die to see Angle be Riddle's manager and mouthpiece. Dream team for me. You clearly missed the start of the show. I buried Angle for that horrible voiceover video package he did. When you tell Kurt Angle, here's the difference. There are 2 different Kurt Angles, in my opinion, when it comes to like talking. You have the go out and cut a promo and make sure you convey this message, Kurt Angle, which is amazing and is fire and is fantastic.
Yep.
And then you have the overproduced, we're going to do a voiceover Kurt Angle. And I just can't stand it. Because I know that this Kurt Angle exists. But then you give me this Kurt Angle. And when you give me this Kurt Angle, well...
Why did I know you were going there?
Because I'm good. He says Ryan Brodo goes, Leah Ripley is greater than Rhea Ripley. Shut up. And then Chrome adds, kind of a coach like Arn Cody, except way better. I would like that because you can take Riddle's fighting background and combine it with Angle's background and really do something cool there. Kind of like what they were doing with the Gulak and Daniel Bryan,
Yep.
but on a more legit level. So SmackDown opens up with a car accident in which it appears a drunk Jeff Hardy has crashed his car into Elias in the Performance Center parking lot and ran away on foot. Police find him and take him into custody as Elias is stretchered away. So a lot of people have asked, since this has started, to us talk about this Jeff Hardy thing. Before we do that, Chrome says, you burying it just means it'll be the next Heyman Brock, which I'm cool with. And again, though, but listen to what I said. I only buried the voiceover work. I didn't like the video package that they cut. It didn't feel right to me. It didn't feel like it's what Riddle deserved. And
Well,
Angle didn't feel like he was into it.
I was going to say, that we know Kurt Angle cuts so much better promos than just a... It's like he's reading it from a fucking cue card.
Right, like, that was my only concern. I love the idea of Angle and Riddle. I think it's great. You know, Prism wants us to talk about Jason Jordan, and I'm just not about it.
Well, no, I think what he's meaning by Jason Jordan is because Jason Jordan was in the car with Jeff Hardy is what the way it was going or something like that.
Was he?
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that. I think it was Jason Jordan was involved somehow. I think he was in the car.
I'll have to go back and watch that again. I didn't catch that.
That's yeah. Here we go. No, it just says. Let's see. Okay, no. Jason Jordan wasn't in the car because everything I kept seeing from everybody else was saying Jason Jordan was involved. He got part of the accident, like. So why is Kurt Angle, and why isn't Kurt Angle? He was on SmackDown to present Riddle. Why wasn't he concerned about his son? Like,
well, because he wasn't on SmackDown.
Exactly.
Anybody that thinks Kurt Angle was on SmackDown legitimately that wasn't taped Wednesday night is a putz. Absolute putz. Chrome chimes in. I hated the Hardy shit. Absolutely hated it. As a trained EMT, the presentation was ridiculous. The angle itself was ridiculous. And I don't get down with playing on drunk driving for a shitty storyline. And Brodo wants Frank to put me through a table. I know what's coming. Hold on. Wait for it. I don't know if Frank has it. Maybe? Not that one, Frank. The other one. That one. There you go. I got you, Ryan. I got you. I know what the people want. I know what the people want.
They want Andy put through a table. Again.
Brodo wanted me put through a table. But no, so like a lot of people tonight have wanted us to talk about the Hardy thing. And Chrome's point, Jordan's a backstage agent. He played the same role as Jamie Noble. I knew he was backstage. I'll have to go back. I missed him. I totally missed Jason Jordan in that, so I'll have to go back and watch it.
I did too. That's why I'm confused just as much as you're confused because they're all going, oh, well, Jason Jordan was involved. Where was he involved? I don't.
But so I'll have to go back and watch. But let's get into this for a minute. Let's get into this Hardy being drunk and everything like that. I have to agree with Chrome. I don't like it. I didn't like back at, what was it, Turning Point 2008, 2009.
I was fixing to say they've done the same angle with Jeff Hardy and the drugs with him and his feud with Punk.
Not even that. Let's go to TNA. Let's go to when they actually sent him out high on drugs to face Sting. Yep. Right? We did this with the Hardy and Punk thing back then, I kind of got it. Right? They didn't portray him as a drunk. They just said, you have a drug problem. Yeah. Right? Like, that's if you're going to say that someone has it, okay, I get it, right? I'm all about it. Not all about it, but I understand it, right? You're welcome, Mr. Brodo. As always, I'm here to please you. I'm okay with those kind of things if you're going to reference them because we know they're fact, we know they're true. We're not going to shy away from it. But when you're trying to exploit this for gain, right? That's why I had a problem with the Scott Hall thing back in 97, 98. I had a problem with TNA putting Jeff Hardy out there.
Yeah. Like
back in 08, 09.
Why would you have Hardy go out in that match knowing how messed up he is? Knowing, like, just so you can get the title off of him? You couldn't just strip it from him and say, hey, we're going to put Sting in a match with somebody else?
but you're stupid. Like not you specifically, right?
Yeah.
They're dumb.
Because my thing is what would have happened had he hurt Sting in that match? Something could have gone wrong because he's high on whatever the hell he was on. He could have. It could have ended Sting right then and there, long before the thing with Seth happened. At least the thing with Seth happened was a true accident. But this one with Jeff Hardy was I want to get to work high on.
I think it's just dumb for me. I don't like bringing that into it.
I don't think the angle should have been a drunk driving thing.
I don't think it should have happened. Period. Don't bring up the drunk driving. Don't bring up the drugs.
I was fixing you just had these vignettes these past
of him overcoming all that.
Yeah, and then you're gonna put it in this.
So Chrome. So clearly, Sheamus was a part of it in real life. Hardy gets released from police custody, because they have evidence it was someone else. How do we not have the police come to arrest Sheamus? How do we move forward with someone who hit another person to set up someone into a wrestling match? And I know we did this before with Austin. It was iconic but dumb then. It's even more idiotic now for a stupid mid-card program and just tasteless. Chrome legitimately couldn't hit the nail on the head any harder.
Yep.
Right? Like, to say that we have evidence it was someone else, and then for us to go off the air without that being resolved, right? Like, that should, like, the cops should have come out releasing Jeff Hardy saying, hey, it was someone else. It goes off the air.
I feel like this is a combination of Sheamus and Corbin. Sheamus, and Corbin teaming up because Sheamus hates Hardy, so he wants to set Hardy up, for the drunk driving BS, and King Corbin is having issues with Elias, so why not make it look like Hardy ran over Elias to get Elias out of Corbin's way?
I would hate that so much. I hate this now. I truly can't stand this now.
And I do too, but like I said, it's how I see it going, because Elias has been a thorn in, Corbin's side. And Corbin has this, and they could go, Corbin has a history of, trying to kill people with throwing Elias over the rail, throwing Aleister Black and Rey Mysterio with an attempted murder, trying to throw them over the side of the
Cue the face.
Headquarters. Do what?
No, I was just asking Frank to cue the face. Keep going.
So, and now here we are with the hit and run on Elias. So King Corbin's, back at it again, trying to get rid of Elias. And Sheamus says, screw it, let's get Hardy involved.
So let me see if I understand you correctly. You're trying to tell me that the new storyline is Baron Corbin is a piss-poor serial killer who has enlisted the help of a has-been Irish brawler in order to get rid of a traveling, drifting guitar player and a tag team specialist.
Yep. I know it sounds dumb. You can say it.
That's fucking stupid.
WWE logic.
Doesn't cover you in this one. That was stupid. Prism saying, police involved in wrestling sucks ass. Realistically, half the wrestlers should be arrested for attempted manslaughter every week. If you bring them in, how do they not end up taking half the roster? If that, Prism, I love you, but that was it's still real to me, damn it, moment. But he's right, though. He's so right. In the sense of, you can't bring the cops in to arrest somebody for beating up on somebody else. Well, that's what they're paid to do.
Exactly.
Chrome, I have friends killed by drunk drivers, fellas, including one of my best friends almost 2 years ago. I just can't back this. Classless and insensitive in my mind. and I'm not a politically correct type of person. This was just piss poor. First of all, Chrome, I'm sorry, man.
Yep.
You know, something like that. It is dumb. It's stupid. It's dumb. It is poor. It is piss poor. It's tasteless. You know, we're cutting some jokes about it right now, and Butters is in the weird delusion trying to make it make sense by WWE logic, I think.
Yep.
But when you take all the goofiness out of it, right?
Yep.
Having something like drunk driving, it's not something you dramatize.
No.
You know, like I don't even like, and this is gonna sound really dumb, but I don't even like it when it's done on like a true drama, unless it's a cop show, like an NCIS or a Law and Order, where that asshole's gonna go to jail.
Yeah.
You know, I don't vibe with it. And Baron Corbin's new gimmick is the Scranton Strangler. Oh, they'll give them any ideas. But no, I can't get behind something like this right now. Especially with everything going on
Yeah.
in the world on so many different levels, and we're not going to get into it.
No.
But it's not the right time or place. You could have done something so much better.
You could have, but again, this is WWE we're talking about. They just they want to rehash old storylines using new people with a slight twist.
Yeah. Sonya Deville defeats Lacey Evans. I'm sorry, Sonya Deville and Lacey Evans goes to a double countout when they wouldn't stop brawling on the floor. Lacey gets back in the ring and challenges Deville to face her, but Deville said they'll fight again on her terms. The New Day appeared on the Moment of Bliss as part of a tag team summit. They're interrupted by Bayley and Banks. Bliss and Cross and them, those four women all have an argument. This leads to Bliss versus Banks, much to Banks' dismay, because, you know, Bayley had to open her mouth. But thanks to Bayley, Sasha can roll up. Wait, hold on. Bayley caused a distraction by doing the chicken dance, saving Banks and allowing her to win the match with a roll up. Oh. Shorty G randomly defeats Cesaro. Yay.
Which tells me Cesaro's just on the back burner.
Yeah, and we already talked about how Bryan defeats Sheamus, so now it's going to be Bryan versus AJ Styles next week for the Intercontinental title.
Gonna be, I'm gonna say this now, and it's gonna be an amazing match. I know it, I feel it, and it's gonna tear the house down next week, and I can't wait to see this match.
Yeah, I can't either. I think I think it's going to hit really well, especially not have. This is a weird one. This is one of those ones where I'm thinking like not having the crowd might just make the match a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because how many times has a crowd shit on a match?
Too many to count on, all fingers and toes. I mean, it.
So Chrome loves the Lacey Sonya feud. A lot of potential there, and I agree. I think they can have a lot of fun with that with them. I'm huge fans of both Lacey and Sonya, so
and it gives them both something to do. Now, with Sonya's background, could we see Lacey Sonya in a pit fight type match? Not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just
no.
Like, okay. Why
no,
not?
I'm
just
it's just not the right time to do it. I don't think you could do something like that with them right now. May depends on how the rest of the story goes, but I don't see that happening right now.
Yeah.
So 1 week from tomorrow is WWE's NXT Takeover in Your House. Okay, we've got 5 matches on the card. Are you going out of town for your vacation, or are you going to be here next week?
Oh, I'm going to be here all next week.
Okay. I know you told me you were on vacation, so before I announce the show for next week. So next week's going to be our go-home show for that event, right, where we're going to do a more deep dive into how we got to these matches and what our predictions are going to be. But just real quick, off the cusp, okay, there's 5 matches on the card right now. We have Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Kross, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Shirai, Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream, and Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano.
Such amazing matches on that card.
There really are. They're going to be great matches. And like I said, guys, we're going to wait till the card is finalized for us to deep dive into it next week. But I'm really excited for that show. I think the Godfather coming back saying, NXT TakeOver, let's go. It's not just NXT TakeOver, it's an HUD radio takeover. But that was my cheap, shitty ass plug. Oh my god, he did it. How Brodo's here. I guarantee you that. There you go, Prism. Put it back up. Put it back up. I want to watch that again. I didn't get a good look at it. Who's in there? Oh, it's Brodo and Ralph giving me the 3D. Okay. Okay. Of course, Brodo has to be the one jumping because we know Ralph hasn't left his 2 feet in 15 years. Anyway, that being said, no, I'm.
And the funny part is, he didn't add me in the video. Like 2/3 of the fix.
Who are you gonna? Spike Dudley?
I don't know. Spike, sign guy, Big Richard Dudley. I don't know.
Get out of my Go back into obscurity.
Did he just mention Big Richard?
Yeah, he did. He just get out of here. Because you and the three of us all know that wasn't Big Richard Dudley. I can't believe we're trying to sugarcoat that one. Oh God! But see now, there it is. Put it up. Put it up. Brodo's even called you out on it. Damn it, Frank! Oh wait, nope. It's coming. It's coming. Joel. But no. NXT's gonna be huge next week. It's gonna be fantastic. Chrome says definitely not Big Dick Dudley, Frank.
I'm just trying to list off the Dudleys I know. Maybe Dances with Dudley, going back to the ECW days. I don't know.
Dances with Dudley. What the hell is that?
It's exactly what you think it is. It's Dances with Dudley.
I think we're making up new Dudleys now.
Yeah, we got Dancing with Dudley, Dudley.
We got Bald Dudley sitting right here.
What is happening on my show? Like, what the shit is going on here?
I don't know anymore.
Bruno! Anyway, NXT is going to be huge next week.
Big time.
1 week from that, so 2 weeks from tomorrow, is going to be WWE Backlash. We're going to do that Saturday night. We're going to do our deep dive into Backlash. So that show will be kind of split into 2 parts. We're going to do an NXT In Your House review, and we're going to do a Backlash preview. We'll also after Lazy Booking, that'll be the Bill Alfonso interview week. So after that, we'll drop the the Backlash Championship, the Universal, in this very ring, Universal Predictions Championship ballots. We'll drop those right after Lazy Booking as we go off the air the week of Bill Alfonso. And then the week after, the winner will get to join us here on HUD Radio, on In This Very Ring, to talk about their thoughts and their decisions on making certain picks for Backlash. So, Butters, let's do a little running. Do you have anything wrestling newsworthy to talk about? I know you got one.
Which one?
What did I tell you to save for the show?
Oh boy. Kurt Angle re-signing with WWE?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So WWE, they furloughed a bunch of people. Of course, everybody knows they fired a bunch of people. Kurt Angle being one of them. Now WWE is looking to re-sign Kurt Angle in hopes that he doesn't jump ship to AEW. Like, I think honestly, if Kurt Angle would have jumped ship to AEW, it would have been the moment he was furloughed.
But so here's my question to that.
Correct.
What the hell does it matter?
WWE's scared. They're scared they might lose Kurt Angle.
But so here's the thing. Prism saying, can we please get a Shane Douglas interview? I will pass that along to certain people, and then apparently I need to call Chrome after the show. Thinking of a joint idea for the ballots. Cool. What does it matter if Sting or Kurt Angle or any of these legends or Hall of Famers or even Arn Anderson and Jake the Snake for that matter?
Yep.
Who the hell cares if they're signed with a company at this point?
Vince does.
But what does it matter? And I think that's where I'm at the point with this, right? Like, I don't care where Kurt Angle signs. I don't care where Sting signs. I don't care where any of these guys who aren't an active wrestler sign, because they're not draws anymore.
That's what I say. At the end of the day,
But that's not a shot. Let me phrase that. Let me preface that. That's not a shot at anybody. That's not a shot at these guys, right? But it's just fact. They're not. Oh shit! Not gonna lie, Shane Douglas is a prick. We've reached out. There you go, Prism. He's a douche.
Oh.
But like that doesn't make that. Who cares?
As I say, at the end of the day, Sting's not going to wrestle because of his neck. Kurt Angle's not going to wrestle because
of his neck.
Well, not just his neck, but his back, his knees, his whole damn body's about to give out. You know, we know Arn Anderson's not going to wrestle. Taz ain't going to wrestle. Jake might wrestle one more time just for old time's sake.
Better not.
Huh?
He better not.
Better not. No, but you get what I'm saying, though.
How long is it to drive down to Jacksonville?
Oh, God. Coming from Texas, probably forever.
No, I think it's like 16 hours.
Sounds about right.
We could go hurt somebody. Yeah. But it just doesn't make sense to me, right? Now, don't get me wrong. From a business side of things, yes, I get it, right? You want that exclusive. You want them to be exclusive to you. But what does it matter? They're not drawing people in. We shouldn't be basing that they're going to draw people in over your Seth Rollins, your Keith Lees, your Matt Riddles, your Brody Lees, your John Moxleys.
What is someone like Kurt Angle or Sting going to do for a company like AEW when you have people like The Revival, The Young Bucks, Lance Archer, Nyla Rose, Kenny Omega? You know, we got all these people. What he said.
So Prism's asking who's in Texas. So Prism, because Prism chimes in on a lot of the different shows that we do here. And so this is a Philadelphia-based sports company, sports media company. And while everybody is in the Philadelphia, New Jersey area, Butters and myself were out here in Texas. Thanks to the grace of different programs and things like that and technology, we're able to come to you live from my downstairs living room, and Butters, I don't know where the hell he is in his house.
My bedroom.
Creepy. So, but yeah, we're here in Texas, and yeah.
But you know, back to my point, what is someone like Kurt Angle, Sting, what are they going to bring to other than the name, other than, oh my God, Kurt Angle showed up? You know, when you've got all these other great talent that can pull and that can draw. And like you said, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, Angle. Chrome says Angle was furloughed. He was never available for AEW, and he would suck in AEW. Agreed. I have to agree.
I don't do anything. You know what, Chrome? I just might, damn it. Watch yourself.
No, you won't. The hell you will.
I don't think I can sit on the shitter for 2 hours, okay?
You're doing it wrong. It's called a. So I've been told. Okay, it's called a Home Depot bathroom break.
What?
My buddy who used to work at Home Depot would say he used to go to the bathroom at work, take a bathroom break, right? And he'd be, Chrome says, do it. And he'd be gone for like 2 hours. So he would call it the Home Depot bathroom break because everybody knew where to find him. He was in the bathroom, literally sitting on the shitter playing on his phone. Chrome says your legs would lose blood circulation.
After 2 hours, I damn well agree.
No, I don't think you need to have Angle signed really anywhere for it to matter to me.
I honestly believe that Angle's gonna sign with WWE because they're just basically giving him a paycheck just to kind of sit at home.
Yeah.
I mean, free money is free money.
I'll take free money.
Exactly.
So, no Undertaker this week.
No, kind of sad because it's been really.
But it's a good thing, right? Because now we can talk about episode 2 and episode 3. Just give some quick little thoughts. We know that episode 4 and episode 5 are going to talk about this build up to WrestleMania 35 and him not being there on the show. And obviously, episode 5 is going to be WrestleMania 36.
Yeah.
Right. So we saw with episode 2 and episode 3 them talking about WrestleManias 33 and 34. And his surgery, everything like that. And not only WrestleManias 33 and 34, but also Super Showdown in Australia. And so give me some takeaways that you've had through this whole, because we're halfway through, more than halfway through from an official standpoint, but we're at the break point.
So first off, I had the heebie-jeebies from that hip surgery they decided they wanted to show on the damn air. Knocking his hip surgery and, doing, showing them beating on it like, bro, I didn't need to.
Oh, them drilling into the bone?
Yes.
And you heard it?
Yes.
Meow.
And taking the hammer and the chisel to it. Come on.
Yep.
I could have done without that. But, his workout at the gym that he called hell.
Mm-hmm.
Him talking about how the day before and the day after was supposed to be like 60 degrees. It's supposed to be nice and cool. But yet the day he decides to show up, 90 degrees outside.
Now, I mean, we do live here in Texas, and we know that's actually pretty possible.
Right?
Chrome says, if you want your Taker fix, he started hitting the podcast circuit. He absolutely buried Hogan on Cheap Heat.
I seen something on that, and I hadn't yet got to read that.
I'm going to have to go find that. Chrome says, I dig that stuff. Show me all the bone, muscle, tissue, and blood. Twisted bastard.
Apparently, he knocks Hogan on some sort of fake injury.
Oh, fun.
Yep. But, I mean, this Taker thing's been so good. I'm kind of sad that this week, they're doing a pause week and showing us Sting the Lost tapes. Give me more Taker. Give me more Last Ride.
I'm really excited. I hope episode 5 is longer than an hour.
You mean episode 4?
No, 5.
No, we've only done 3.
Right. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Episode 5 is the last episode,
Oh, okay.
and they're more than likely going to talk about the Boneyard match. And I want that to drag out. I don't want them to just give me a little bit and skip over it, right? Drag that out. Give me a 2-hour episode. Let it end on a huge note. I love the fact that it's a very personal look. Michelle's very candid with this.
Yep.
Taker, everybody, they're super candid about it.
He was happy with his match against John Cena because he was able to go out there and he still had enough energy afterwards. Like, he could have gone on a little
But he
longer.
was, oh dear God. Hey, Frank, you want it? You got it. Shit. Ah! Some people in this channel have way too much time on their hands. Yes, yes, yes.
I just wanted to be in a Dudley video.
That doesn't even look like you. That's so good. But you know what's really funny? I could see Ralph doing that, and
Of course.
that looks like Ralph. Like the head just matches.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Brodo's a genius.
That's awesome.
Even when he's not here, Brodo's still getting us all. That little troll. I don't mean that in a size way. I just mean troll. Damn it, that's gonna come back to bite me.
Them talking, Michelle talking about how, he was happy with that match, but then you get into the Saudi Arabia matches and they were shit. And she's like, great, now it's not going to end this time because he doesn't like, from my understanding, he doesn't want to end on a sour note. He doesn't want that last match to be shit.
Well, would you if you're the Undertaker?
No, never.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is why I feel like, maybe this Boneyard match was his last match because I feel like they ended that on the most positive.
So Chrome says, have you watched Postmortem? It's WWE's version of After Dark following Dark Side of the Ring. Fucking good. So I don't know how I missed it. I just discovered it the other day. Going through my travels and looking for other things. So I have to sit down and watch it, but I am excited because I know they have one with Michelle McCool. They have the episode 3 with Shawn Michaels on there. So I'm really excited to sit down and okay. So week 1 was Sam Roberts.
See, I seen something today about that when we were looking up next week's episode, and figuring out that it was this Sting lost tapes. I seen something about Postmortem.
Yeah, so I'll have to sit down and watch that. I just haven't had an opportunity to. But no, I'm really excited for this Undertaker thing. Like I said a few weeks ago, this could be something that if they do a DVD of it, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
This would be something I would sit down and watch in its entirety. If it was like a 5 or 6 hour thing, I'd sit and watch it. Chrome says it's great. I know Matt Camp personally. He does a great job hosting it. Good. Very good. Very good. All right, Butters. We're going to what?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. We are going to get out of here, guys. We appreciate you so much for joining us. Don't forget, In This Very Ring was brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Check out Dr. Paul Vidal, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. He's at Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton, New Jersey. Your deck restoration and gutter guard leading experts in Ambuck Services. And QB54, the best tailgating game in the business. Guys, this was another episode of In This Very Ring. Don't forget, next week we will have our NXT In Your House prediction show. Don't forget, on April 11th, the manager of champions, Bill Alfonso, will be on Lazy Booking.
You mean June 11th?
June 11th. Did I say April 11th?
Yes, sir.
I don't ever want to relive April 2020 ever again. It's the longest month of my life.
Don't you wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby?
Oh, now he cues the face. Now he's there. Okay. Guys, tomorrow on Agree to Disagree will be on HUD Radio. Frank's just putting all the videos up there. Monday night we have Sports Hounds hitting HUD. Chrome, if you're still here, I know you guys are doing your NFL drafts Tuesday on Birds of a Feather. If you don't mind dropping in what you guys are going to be talking about this week. I know we did running backs last week. Thursday night is going to be the Fix and AM in the PM. It could be another Fix in the PM. I don't know. I'm gonna keep saying that until it sticks. Right? Brodo says it's me. Oh, Brodo's back. Is Brodo back there now? Playing all the videos? What's happening? Is this a takeover? Have we been invaded?
That's what it looks like.
What is going on here?
Why are we being invaded? Is it because we're the best show around? Is that what it is? Y'all just jelly?
Chrome says Chuck's runs Birds of a Feather. I was just hired to look pretty. They need a refund. But no, so Fix in the PM on Wednesday, and then Thursday. Okay, programming alert. I think there. So Thursday night hockey happy hour. They are getting Stanley Cup champion Chris Pronger on the hockey happy hour. Chrome will be there. Chrome will join Maddie. He'll join Brian Daly, Robert Povia, and for the Chris Pronger interview, Chrome saying Hall and Nash in the HUD control room. Oh my God, that's amazing.
About what it feels like right now.
But I could see Ryan playing like a Hall or Nash role. There's like that outsider character. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what Chrome's doing on Lazy Booking this week. There might be an interview, there might not. A lot of things working there. New show over here at HUD Radio on Fridays called On the Road to Victory. Check him out. This is gonna suck. His name is escaping me. I think it's Jimmy that does the show over there. I haven't had a chance to talk to him personally yet. Literally, the show dropped yesterday. Jimmy Smith is what I'm being told. Thank you for that.
I was about to say, if it dropped yesterday, shouldn't it be fresh on that mind?
No, it shouldn't be. Did you miss the part where I had work today? And then we'll be back with Saturday back here with the weekly roundup and our predictions show. Guys, for Butters, I'm Ritz. We got to send our love to Frank Vespi for getting us on the air tonight. And then we have to thank Mr. Ryan Brodo for dropping in some brand new video content. There we go. Ralphie is just beating down on Frank. God, I'm getting my ass handed to me tonight. The problem is I ran out of tea, and I just can't function. Right? Like it's bone dry over here. But yeah, guys, so we're gonna get out of here. We will see you all next week for another episode of In This Very Ring as we as we preview NXT TakeOver In Your House. Guys, we'll see you next week. And by the way, that's Ralph. See y'all next week.